I found the black box wedged behind the drywall in my basement, and at first I thought it was just old electrical wiring left behind by the previous owners. It was small, no larger than a deck of cards, with a single blinking blue light that pulsed like a slow heartbeat. My house was a fixer-upper, a century-old Victorian that groaned with every step I took, but this piece of tech looked brand new. I pulled it out, trailing a thin silver cable that led deep into the wall. Curiosity got the better of me. I connected it to my laptop, bypassed the basic encryption with a simple password reset, and a video feed popped up. It wasn't a live stream, it was an archive. Hundreds of folders, each labeled with a date. I clicked on the most recent one. The camera angle was high up, looking down into my kitchen. I watched myself making coffee that morning. I watched myself leave for work. Then I watched the screen for 20 minutes of silence. Just as I was about to close the laptop, the pantry door in the background drifted open. A man stepped out. He wasn't a ghost. He was wearing a faded gray hoodie and work boots. He walked to my fridge, took out the milk, and drank straight from the carton. He looked at the camera and smiled, a thin, knowing grin that made my blood turn to ice. He didn't leave. He sat at my table, read my mail, and then tucked himself back into the pantry before I returned home. I didn't call the police immediately. I needed to know how he was getting in. I spent the next hour scrubbing through weeks of footage. He lived in the walls. He had carved out a space behind the pantry that connected to the old servant passages. But then I saw something that changed everything. In a video from 3 nights ago, the man wasn't just eating. He was holding a screwdriver.
He was tampering with the gas line behind the stove. I smelled it then, a faint, sweet scent of natural gas wafting from the kitchen. My heart hammered against my ribs. I realized why he was smiling at the camera. He wasn't just living here. He was waiting for the moment I'd finally notice him. I grabbed my keys and ran for the front door, but the deadbolt clicked shut before I could touch it. The smart home system I'd installed last week, the one I thought made me safe, had been hijacked. I turned around, and there he was, standing at the end of the hallway, holding a lighter. I didn't scream. I lunged for the basement door, the only one with a manual latch. I tumbled down the stairs, slamming the door and sliding the heavy iron bolt just as he threw his weight against it. I scrambled to the small coal chute window, kicking the rusted glass until it shattered, and hauled myself out into the cold night air. I ran to the neighbor's yard and dialed the authorities. Within minutes, sirens drowned out the silence of the street. The police found him in the attic, holding a map of the house with my bed circled in red. They found the gas line had been sliced clean through. If I hadn't found that box, I would have drifted off to sleep and never woken up. The police found 4 other black boxes hidden in the walls, and I finally understood that I was never the one in control.